I'm Fadil Hendricks, President of the National Fancy Pigeon Association of South Africa. The National Fancy Pigeon Association of South Africa is a national body that consists of members throughout South Africa. The South African National Pigeon Organization, SANPO, is the mother body of pigeons in the Republic of South Africa. They are the body that is recognized by SASCOC and by government. Okay, they're the controlling body of pigeons in South Africa. The National Fancy Pigeon Association is members of SANPO. Okay, that is the NFPA. We are the only fancy pigeon association recognized by SANPO. Okay, and that our affiliation with SANPO also gives us the accreditation as a recognized body by government and by SASCOC. Fancy pigeons in South Africa is an amateur sport. All members in management positions do it voluntarily. We go out to schools where we do the exhibitions, etc., on a voluntary basis. We don't foresee that the fancy pigeon sport being made a professional sport due to that the amount of youth that we want to bring in the sport and inculcating them the love and care for pigeons. The national colours get awarded under the auspices of SANPO, which is the body who is represented at SASCOC level. Okay. Our national colours is recognised by SASCOC. We participate nationally, not internationally, due to the fact that we're in different hemispheres. The national colours get awarded to people who have to conform to a certain criteria and a certain points that you have to score over a period of 5 years to attain national colours. The national colours that we in SASCOC or at SANPO level and at NFPA level gets is more for the participation in the racing pigeons and in showing of pigeons. The National Fancy Pigeon Association of South Africa is a body whereby we, at all levels, we try to bridge the gap between different race groups. Okay, we are at the level of having our entire infrastructure of the NFPA is based on what our late President Dr. Nelson Mandela had to say, to integrate everybody of all cultures, religions and denominations as part and parcel of this organization. Yes, it's a difficult procedure that we have to follow. It's an uphill battle because it's a sport that was held more amongst the affluent people of South Africa. And introducing them, this particular sport of fancy pigeons, into the more disadvantaged areas comes with a few headaches and quite a difficult task on hand, due to that the culture of fancy pigeon sport is different to what many other groups or cultural groups in the Republic of South Africa is used to doing. We have members throughout all Gugulethu, Soweto and all these places, there's members which have in certain times problems because the theft of pigeons, etc., etc. So we as an organization try to bridge that gap and bring all these people under one and understand and educate them at school level. So that's our main aim, because it's at that level, at school level, where education is the most important of acknowledging, and people, especially the younger generation, knowing what is pigeons and how the pigeons are being shown and how are they being cared for, etc. As an organization and the representatives of the fancy pigeon sport in the Republic of South Africa, we adhere to various rules and regulations throughout the world when it comes to protection of pigeons and protection of different types of rare pigeons. But if we're looking at the fancy pigeon sport in the world, there's over 987 breeds of pigeons. Many of these pigeons goes way back to 4,000 years old. There's pigeons that we have on shows that has been domesticated over the years, that was used as awards in the times of the pharaohs and all these people. Okay, we have pigeons like the carriers and the bobs, which is actually where racing pigeons have started from. These pigeons are many, many years, many thousands of years old. The offspring of them is pigeons that has been in the wild before, but because of being used or being hunted down to extinction, many of these birds, pigeon species, we and the Fancy Pigeon Association throughout the world has now started to protect them under our associations throughout the world. We find that many of these pigeons, and still up till today, new species have been discovered, like in China and even in the northern parts of Russia, that newer species is being discovered all the time. So it is something whereby the associations of the world is there to protect this type of species. We, of course, domesticate them and we use them on exhibition purposes, and then through that process they become actually a pigeon where a standard is being written. If I give you an example of one breed where it comes down from families on the Ottoman Empire for over 500 years, it's a standard that's been written over 500 years ago on what the pigeon must actually look like. And up till today, this pigeon is still bred according to that standard. So fancy pigeons is in actual fact one of the oldest sports of mankind. We are now in a more fancy part of how to show them and how to care for them. But the fancy pigeon comes on for many, many thousands of years. You know, we have the carrier pigeon that was used for the pharaohs and the Greeks and the Romans as carrier things. Those days there were no internet and telephones and WhatsApp and whatever messages you want to send. They used the pigeon, and we are the custodians of that pigeons to protect them, because over the years they've been domesticated and the ability to look after themselves has basically diminished. But through the protection of our associations throughout the world, we have now protected them and have bred them in various countries in the world.
I am Marisa Venter, and I'm the Transformation Officer of the National Fancy Pigeon Association. We encourage people of all walks of life to participate in this sport. If you are interested, please contact www.fancypigeons.co.za.
I'm Yasim Khan. I'm the National Secretary for the NFPA. I'm going to be judging the English fantails now. Okay, these three birds are the final three birds that have been brought forward. The one on the right here is a blue barred fantail. You'll notice the bird hasn't been prepared properly compared to the others. These black ones are much better prepared. And the idea with the English fantails is that when they stand, their tail has to form a fan, their head has to be very close to the tail, and the chest must be wide and unbroken. The chest needs to have no wing butts shown. And if I judge the three birds this morning, this particular one here is your best bird on show, and the other black here would be your reserve bird on show. Ulrich has placed this particular bird first. He's indicated the quality of the crest. Crest is very good. The muffs on the bird is very, very good as well. The color and balance of the bird is perfect. This particular one here has got a smaller crest. If you look at the head there, the crest part is a bit smaller. The feathers aren't as clean and it's broken on the feet. So the muffs aren't as perfect as this particular one. Ulrich has placed this bird here first and this bird here second. So that's your best bird on show and that's your reserve bird on show.
George Bial. Die duif wat hier in die hokkie is 'n moderneser. En as jy na 'n moderneser duifie wil kyk, dan soek jy 'n mooi fyn duifie met 'n mooi gladde voorkoms het. Jy moet die duif in 3 dele kan opdeel. Sy nek, sy as 'n derde, sy lyf is 'n derde en sy bene is 'n ander as die ander derde, so die hele lengte van die duif deel jy in 3 dele op. Jy soek die duifie so lekker rond as moontlik. Hy moet 'n baie goeie onderlyn hê. Jy soek nie los vere nie en dan jy soek 'n skoon kleur op die duif. Baie belangrik van die duifie, soek sy bene ook in die middel van sy lyf. Dat hy ook vir jou so 'n halwe tipe kelkie vorm kan gee. En dan soos ek sê die nek maak 'n derde uit, maar die nek en die kop moet nie dik wees nie. Dit moet 'n fyn gladde fyn koppie wees en die nek moet redelik elegant wees en hulle moet mooi aansluit by mekaar. En dis omtrent so kort hoe 'n moderneser moet lyk. West of England.
Hi, my name is Laik Bray and I'm a pigeon fancier. I belong to the National Fancy Pigeon Association. Here I have a Budapest tumbler that won on one of the shows. The reason why this Budapest tumbler won is because the eyes is supposed to be as big as possible and the beak should be as short as possible. The eye should be as large as it can possibly be, and the stance of the bird is supposed to stand on the tips of its front toes, and it's supposed to be a very small bird.
Hi there, my name is Omar Jacobs. I'm showing the South African toys. I've bred and showed them for, been with the NFPA since I think first year after inception, but I've been having toys for probably about 25 years since I was a youngster. And I'm only 25 now, so that's a very long time. A little bit about the toy. Proudly South African pigeon, one of the nicest the South African bred pigeons for myself. Popular color, white. Standard requires a relatively medium-sized pigeon. High crest makes a half shell. Right, with plentiful foot feathering.
Right number. 129. What's the number?
My name is Farid Rajal. I'm from PA. I'm the Birmingham roller judge on this national show of NFPA. Here we've got 2 Birmingham rollers. This one is the champion bird. It's a cock bird. The color is what they call a grizzle. And this one is a reserve champion bird. It's also a cock bird. That's a red bald head. The reason why this bird is a better bird It's according to the standard of the Birmingham roller. You see, if you look at the two birds, you actually see one type of bird. But now the final point on the two birds here is this one is standing a bit shorter than the red one. You see? There's a few points that is different on to the birds, but the type of bird is the same. Understand? You can see the posture of this one and that one, the same type of bird. But as you look at the legs, that one is now a bit smaller, shorter in the legs as the red one. Now that's why this is the champion bird and that is the reserve bird.
My name is Adam Lobshaw. I'm breeding the Birmingham roller. As you see, this is two different color breeds. This one is called the bald-head, the red bald-head, and this is called the Czech white flight. Now, as you can see, this bird has a more round head, which means it's more of a competition bird, which means it's a flying bird. How it rolls and spins. What they do is it's from Birmingham, the city in England, I think. Yeah, they come in a kit of 20. Now, if 5 or more roll, you count that as 5 points. This one is more of a standard bird. Now, this bird you show for how the bird looks. As you can see, this bird has a bigger head than this bird here. This bird's got a round and longer body, and this one has a long but shorter body. Now the thing is, this is closer to a standard of a Birmingham roller. This is more of a kit bird. How to get them ready is you bath them, give them antibiotics before the show, and then yeah, this bird you do exactly the same except more treatment is needed. As you see on the feet, there's rings. That's how you basically identify the bird. This bird is a young cock. That bird is a old cock.
Hello, my name is Laik Vrij. The reason why we call it a bald head is because the white around the head makes it a bald head. They have big heads that's supposed to be about the size of a golf ball. They have short beaks, and to breed them is difficult because of their short beaks. They can't raise their own youngsters, so you have to get other birds to raise them, the youngsters.
My name is Ashik Bray, and I'm here today at the National Fancy Pigeon Association Nationals. I have here today a African owl, which came first in its category. What you look in the African owl is a very round, large head, and an eye right in the center of its head, and a very good breast frill. And here I have a American show racer. This bird came second in its category. You look for balance in the bird and a very good strong neck and a strong beak. And a strong neck. What I do to get them ready for the show is file the bird's beaks and clean them up and check if they don't have any lice on them.
I'm a junior member. This is my bird. He won. The reason why he won is, you can see here the cap. The cap. It's supposed to be oval shaped, like here in front. It must come over, straight. And its color, of course, can't be one color black and one whatever. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, family, colleagues, and all protocols observed. What an absolutely fantastic week we've had. And it is indeed tonight an absolute pleasure for all of us exhibitors to grace this awards evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending the 9th Annual Fancy Pigeon Championship prize-giving function.
First award, and that is an award to Fadil Hendricks, and the award is basically for having achieved in 2014 administration, showing and judging, and for that he's now received braiding for his blazer, which is the ultimate in this particular sport and any other sport in South Africa. So congratulations, Fadil. Ladies Award, Administration. Received awards, national awards, for showing Cassie Carstens, Farid Rajal, Farouk Hamildin, Nico Esterhuizen. And then the last two that has received all three awards, that is the for administration, for showing and judging, Majid Rawood and Donald Bland.
biggest trophy of the night.
Okay, thanks on behalf of the NFPA. It's a special thanks to the City of Cape Town, to DCAS, Cape Town Sports Council, and to SANPO. Truly, truly appreciated. The partnerships are very, very dear to us, and we hope, despite all of the challenges and besides all of the worries, Noah, we'll be around for many years and we'll be supporting each other and keeping each other's names high. Okay, then thank you to all the members, family, and friends who have attended tonight. Last but not least, special thanks to Shireen and her team. She's now called SimNet Caterers, so thank you to SimNet Caterers. And then members, one last thing. Please take note of the following. And the instruction is, all members have 1 hour to remove their birds from the show hall tomorrow. And that will be from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Thereafter, Majid and his team will no longer take responsibility for any missing birds. So please be there on time. In other words, we're saying get there before 8 and start packing your birds. Thank you very much. Fantastic season, fantastic championship show. Thank you all. Good night.